Every decade has a turning point. A moment when the global economy shifts, when the powerful stumble, and when new players rise. And as we step into 2026, the world is entering one of those turning points again. Countries are struggling with inflation, yet some economies are booming. Stock markets are hitting record highs, while others collapse overnight. Energy is becoming cheaper in some regions and dangerously expensive in others. A silent currency war is beginning, and the next global recession might already be in motion. This is not just another economic forecast. This is a deep dive into the hidden forces shaping 2026 decisions made by governments, central banks, corporations, and superpowers that will determine the future of money, employment, energy, trade, and everyday life. Whether you're a trader, an investor, a business owner, or simply someone worried about the rising cost of living, this documentary is for you, because the signs are already here. The market. Man returns with the most important prediction of the decade. A complete breakdown of what 2026 will bring. Major economic shocks, interest rate shifts, global alliances, war-driven markets, energy transitions, emerging superpowers, and the industries that will collapse or explode in value. Asterisk, the market man. Let's begin. Asterisk, the world after 2025. A fragile start, 2025, ended with a mixture of hope and fear. Some regions controlled inflation, others didn't. Oil prices stabilized but remained unpredictable. Countries were preparing for elections that could change global alliances. Economic growth slowed, but didn't break. However, beneath the surface, 2025 planted the seeds for what 2026 will reveal. The biggest signs included central banks ending aggressive rate hikes, global supply chains shifting from China to multiple countries, natural resources becoming strategic weapons, artificial intelligence replacing millions of jobs, the US, China, India, and the Middle East fighting for economic leadership, silent currency war emerging through gold, digital assets, and local trade agreements. 2026 will be the year when all of these pieces connect, creating the economic storm many analysts are ignoring. Asterisk, interest rates will finally shift throughout 2023 to 2025. Rising interest rates crushed mortgage affordability, business borrowing, global trade, consumer spending, but in 2026, the market man predicts a major reversal. Why? Because inflation in most major economies will fall faster than expected due to cheaper energy deals, US, Saudi, Middle East, Asia, declining shipping costs, overproduction in manufacturing, efficiency reducing business expenseful and demand in Europe, and China result. Central banks from the Federal Reserve to the European Central Bank will begin a rate cut cycle. Impact: stock markets rise, especially tech, AI, energy, health. Real estate stabilizes after years of pain. Bond markets surge, consumer confidence returns. Small business growth accelerates, but easy money also brings risk. Asset bubbles, inflated tech valuation speculate. Spikes, unstable debt in developing countries. 2026 will start positive, but overheated. Asterisk, the United States. A new economic DEA. The United States will be heading into a calmer but decisive economic phase. The economy will be supported by a new defense partnership with Saudi Arabia, cheaper oil supply across U.S. markets, a push for $2.50 per gallon gasoline, huge investment in semiconductor manufacturing, AI reshaping every industry, strong consumer demand, falling inflation. But the bigger story is this: America is preparing for an economic battle with China. This will show up in tariffs, tech bans, semiconductor controls, restrictions on Chinese investments, alliances with India, Japan, and South Korea, expansion of U.S. naval presence in the Indo-Pacific. 2026 for the U.S. will be strong, steady, consumption-driven, technologically aggressive, competitive globally, but politically highly unpredictable. Any major geopolitical tension could change the outcome instantly. Asterisk, China's great rest. China enters 2026 with a slowing population, a weak housing market, falling foreign investments, rising defense spending, major supply chain shifts, internal economic restructuring, strong ambitions for global power. But China is not collapsing. Instead, it is transitioning. China will focus heavily on EV, dominance battery exports, solar power leadership AI, regulation gold, accumulation, local currency, trade agreements. BRICS expansion. China will shift from factory of the world to strategic industrial power. The biggest prediction: China will attempt to challenge the US dollar more aggressively in 2026 using gold, digital yuan, and oil trade alliances. But this battle will be long, slow, and difficult. India, the rising star of 2026. India will be one of the strongest economies in 2026 because of a booming young population, manufacturing moving away from China, massive infrastructure projects, stable government, policies, foreign investment waves, strong digital payments ecosystem, increasing global partnerships. Won't replace China yet, but it will become the world's fastest growing major economy. Sectors that will explode in India. In 2026, construction, pharmaceuticals, information technology, semiconductor assembly, electric vehicles, fintech, defense manufacturing. India will attract global companies looking for stability. The Middle East, new power center 2026, will be the year the Middle East completes its transformation from oil suppliers, gives economic superhub. Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Qatar will invest in AI, defense, global sports, tourism, crypto, regulation, electric vehicle ecosystems, major infrastructure upgrades. Arabia's partnership with the US, especially the defense agreement and oil cooperation, will shift the entire global energy market. Result: cheaper gasoline in many parts of the world, stronger Middle East currencies, more global influence, reduced inflation pressure worldwide, but the region will face geopolitical risks, and global markets will react sharply to any tension. Europe. The troubled RHGO in Europe enters 2026 with low growth, high energy costs, weak consumer spending, political instability, aging population, manufacturing, declined dependence on U.S. security. Europe will experience slow recovery, minimal innovation, rising unemployment, struggles with energy transitions. The only strong sectors will be high-end, manufacturing, defense production, luxury goods, renewable energy. Europe's biggest risk in 2026, a recession triggered by weak demand and geopolitical uncertainty. Energy market 2026, the surprise YEA. World expects high oil prices, but the marketman predicts oil stays in the $60-$80 range. Gasoline becomes cheaper globally, natural gas supply becomes abundant. Energy inflation falls sharply. Saudi deals middle East diversification, new supply chains, renewable surplus, slower industrial demand in Europe and China. AI-powered, energy efficiency, large oil inventories worldwide, but the real shock of 2026 will be the global rise of nuclear energy and uranium. Countries will push nuclear energy to reduce costs and dependence on unstable regions. Artificial intelligence. The big disruptor of 2026. AI will be the most profitable sector of 2026, but it will also be the most dangerous. That AI will replace millions of jobs, create new digital professions, lower company expenses, increase productivity, cause massive layoffs, reshape the global workforce. AI will impact finance, healthcare, transportation, military education, customer service, media content creation, e-commerce, manufacturing. Biggest winners: AI companies, chip manufacturers, data center builders, cloud service providers, robotics companies, cybersecurity firms. The biggest losers: repetitive jobs, traditional media, outdated manufacturing, slow digital economies. IA will create trillion-dollar opportunities, but also deep social challenges. The big risks of 2026. No prediction is complete without danger. And 2026 has many. 1. Currency war. USD versus BRICS. Gold reserves, rising digital currency, influence growing to supply. Chain shocks, conflicts, natural disasters, political restrictions. 3. Debt crisis. Several developing countries may default. 4. Job displacement, causing unemployment spikes. 5. Political instability. Major elections in the US, Europe, and Asia. Any of these could trigger a global slowdown. Final predictions for 2026. Global growth, moderate but unstable. Inflation, significantly lower. Interest rates, major cuts likely. Stock markets. Strong first half. Volatile second half. Oil, stable, not explosive. AI, unstoppable expansion. China, strategic, not collapsing. India, fastest growing major economy. Middle East, rising global influence. Europe, weak recovery. Crypto, gold continues upward trend. 2026 will be the year of transition, not collapse. The world will experience restructuring, a new map of power, wealth, and influence. As we look toward 2026, one thing becomes clear: the old world economy is disappearing, and a new one is taking its place. Every country, every company, every worker will feel the impact of these changes. Some will rise, some will fall, some will adapt and transform, while others will be left behind. 2026 won't be the year the global economy collapses, but it will be the year the global system rearranges itself. A new energy order, a new AI-driven workforce, a new geopolitical map, a new currency competition, and a new generation of economic winners and losers. The market man, the world is entering a new chapter faster, smarter, and more unpredictable than ever before. But if you know where to look, you can stay ahead of the storm. If you found this documentary helpful, powerful, or eye-opening, like the video, subscribe to The Market Man, and share this with someone preparing for 2026. Because the future belongs to the informed. The Market Man. And remember, in the world of markets, the smart money always moves first. I'll see you in the next episode.